What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the newest studio album from Freddie Gibbs, the newest collaborative studio album from Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, MadGibbs, entitled Bandana. This is their second collaborative project together. The first one was back in 2014 with Pinata, which has just gotten such praise, such high critical acclaim. I feel like just off the acclaim that it's gotten, even though I think it's gone over my head the times I've tried to listen to it. I think it's a modern classic, even though it was only 5 years ago. Um, Most people, at least from what I've seen, people that I talk to, they like to give an album 10 years and see how it does. But just in 5 years, the way people keep talking about Pinata and how they were just waiting for the next project, hoping for it, and when it was confirmed that it was going to drop last year or maybe late 2017, maybe even late 2016, from what I might remember, if I remember correctly. People have been like, "Yeah, when's it gonna come out? When's Bandana?" I don't even know if they had a title for it at that time, late 2016, late 2017. But yeah, man, they've been waiting because Pinata was so damn good to a lot of people, and I'm gonna definitely go back and listen to it because, like I said, I feel like it kind of went over my head sometimes. Um, but yeah, and I might do a late review or later this year or next year, who knows when. But I'll definitely go back and listen to it because that's an album I definitely want to love because it's so jazzy. But I've been listening to Freddie Gibbs ever since Shadow of a Doubt dropped in November of 2015. Um, I need to go back and listen to ESGN. I remember listening to and reviewing You Only Live Twice, and listened to review Shadow of a Doubt as well. I prefer Shadow of a Doubt over You Only Live Twice. Last year he had Fetty with Currency and The Alchemist, and now he's here with this. So he's been dropping, man. He's been busy. Oh, and he also had Freddie in 2018 as well. His people were calling that his R&B album. It was only 25 minutes, and like, how many tracks was that? That was, where's it at? That was only 10 tracks. Okay. And this album, Bandana, is only 14 tracks, I want to say. Yeah, 15 tracks, actually. That's right. It's all right. The last track. But let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Freddie Gibbs, you already know who he is, and you definitely know who Madlib is. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first track was like a 30-second intro. But the second track, which felt like the proper intro to me, no disrespect to the first track or Freddie and Madlib's track listing, or their selection order, freestyle shit. Track 2, man, very jazzy, kind of jazz funkish. He was just talking about Freddie was talking about back when music wasn't moving, so he was moving cocaine, and it had this like 70s soul vibe to it. So I really fucked with that. Track number 3, half man, half cocaine. Bit of a banger. It's on that Coke Boy shit. I mean, it's Freddie Gibbs, so what you expect, man? And then it transitioned into boom bap. And what did he say? He talking about sit your $5 ass down before I make change, pay for your funeral, get your shit arranged, kiss your wife, then say you was solid, then go piss on your grave. Fuck, man. That is just cold as shit. It reminds me of what was it? Willie? Well, it doesn't remind me, but it sticks out to me like his Willie Lloyd verse off Fetty last year with Currency and Alchemist. What he said, root to your devil's mouth. I handle debts on the roof of the devil's house. Um, I know how the rest. I mean, I don't exactly know how the rest goes because I can't quote it the whole thing, but I can just hear it in my head. It's just, man, Freddie's just fucking cold, man. Check number 4, Crime Pays. Just smooth. He's back on his R&B shit, like on Freddie. Freddie Pendergrass shit. And he just talked about seeing brighter days due to him moving dope and also moving lyrical dope substances through that. And he talks about his, just having a brand and things like that, etc. Check number 5, Massage Seats. He just talks about how he's coming for these niggas and how he's also doing it for niggas like him who the rap game was made for. Track number 6, Palmolive featuring Pusha T and Killer Mike. You talk about some coke shit. I mean, you got Freddie, that's one thing, but then you get Push on some shit. Killer Mike too, man. And Freddie was just talking about, yo, fuck the 40 acres and a mule. And he also showed love to Pimp C, so that, man, Pimp. He said Chad Butler up in heaven, up in the sky, chunking a deuce. I was like, yeah, man, Chad Lamont Butler, man, shit. Smooth Mike, Smooth Killer Mike on the chorus, and Pusha saying it all, freaking here. Um, what did he talk about? Obama opened his doors knowing I was a criminal. That's what Push said. But yeah, man, this was just another good track. Track number 7, Fake Names. This was one of the darker beats and the darker tracks on here with the beat and just Freddie, what he was talking about and how he was saying it. You can hear some pain in his voice. He's talking about how he had to use fake names and when he was sleeping, dead faces would occupy his brain and just living the lifestyle of someone who's insane. And he talked about looking out for his boy and he told a story, a Coke Boy street tale. It was very cold, and then it transitioned to a feel good vibe with the beat, and even more feel good outro to the end. The next track, Flat Tummy Tea, which was the single to promote this project. I want to say it was the only single. I wrote a lot about this track. He talked about slavery and how niggas won't let you live in peace, but love to see you rest in peace. And I've never always noticed how well Freddie Gibbs can flow and just ride a beat, but I've never heard it this smooth before. Just the beat and the flow, and then the transition. And the beat and his flows transition. He said like niggas don't own no land or fine art, but got all the retros. And talking about how Obama can't make the law retroactive. What the fuck happened? Congress cockblocking niggas coming home to their family. You lucky when he got out of office, you got a pardon. And just yeah, man, talking about overtime cut and how what did he say? Softer that handed you overtime cut, softer that handed you that hard that handed you. It was very fucked up. And he's talking about how regardless it made him make his mind up. He talks about addiction and how if we don't take it back, then we don't deserve what it is that we want or want to take back, and how 6,000 years and ran up, the kings of the earth is back. And he was talking about freaking supreme mathematics, how he's on the right course. I was like, oh shit, nigga, talk about supreme mathematics, okay. And talking about taking the sword and knocking white Jesus off of the white horse. I was like, has my man been studying 120? Has he been listening to Allah the Father? You know, studying Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, teachings of Master WD or Wallace Fard Muhammad. Like, yo, studying 120 and all that, studying the NOI, 5% Nation and shit. Okay. Track number 9, Situations. Very head bopping, feel good bop of a banger. Just putting on, representing, and remembering those shitty situations and people who are still in those situations. He talked about jail, his bad food choices. He said, fuck Jeff Sessions, and yeah, fuck Jeff Sessions. I'll never forget that motherfucker said good people don't smoke marijuana and shit. Fuck. And he talked about death and crackheads and things like that. Just situations. Track number 10, Giannis, featuring Anderson .Paak. Here he was just dropping so many gems, just about knowing the industry and things like 360 deals and what the fuck, like what that means, like the little money you see from the 360 deal itself going to your legal team and your manager and A&R and things like this. Track number 11, Practice. Here he talked about having a commitment to 2 women, one who was, I guess, was his wife, maybe the mother of his child, and just acknowledging that it wasn't their fault, it was his fault because he just wanted to bust one real quick, and how drugs fucked his mind up at that time. He wasn't being himself, and his baby mama's mom didn't care for him anymore. Maybe still doesn't. So yeah, it's fucked up. It's kind of like reminds me of when I saw the documentary of how Miss Jackson by Outkast was made. They talked about like, yeah, you wonder like, do people still think about you? The people who came into your life or became a part of your life once you became a part of someone else's life, and those people become a part of your life just from you being associated with the people in their life that you met. Yeah, track number 12, Cataracts. One of my favorite tracks on this project, without question. Just lavish shit, man. When he said, "To me, the God Allah is the black man personified," I was like, all right, yep, he definitely. Well, no, there's more. Um, he talked about how the Lord was in the room when his daughter. Wait, the Lord was in the room when my daughter took her first breath. When cold turkey on the dope, or had to go cold turkey on the dope, had to gain the knowledge of self. Knowledge of self. So this man, all right then, he has been studying, or has studied, and still does, and keeps 120 on lock. Um, it's talking about walking amongst the dumb, deaf, and the blind. Another thing, and just dope rap and basketball. Uh, the punching ticket for niggas. You put it in a book, then I guess you didn't hit it from niggas. Sad but true. Sad but true. Check number 13. Got damn. Got damn. Um, just talking about the hell of being a coke dealer, and but the heavenly side of it too. How the devil's working. Just some smooth summer ride music. Track number 14, Education, featuring Yasin Bey, Most Def, and Black Freaking Thought. Def was talking about conquerors and pharaohs and the jails being overcrowded and empty schools, which is like, yeah, jails overcrowded, but the schools are empty. Like, that's... and Thought, man, talking about Aboriginal, indigenous people, and what do you say? I heard the world ending. It's trending. I try to watch it. I focused on sinning when winning was not an option. Fuck. Thought is just, man. Fuck, man. That verse, and just verses from Thought anyway. It's just he's one of the greatest of all time. He's got to be the most underrated of all time, or maybe not that, because Black Thought, a lot of people, they acknowledge how great he is and how he's one of the greatest of all time, but too many people do it for me to say he's one of the most underrated of all time. He's the most underrated of the rappers with notoriety, MCs with high critical acclaim for their verses and their contributions to hip hop. Guys like AZ and Zero and maybe Lupe and Immortal Technique, those more so fit most underrated of all time, because not enough people give them the credit, and still not enough people give Black Thought the credit. But at the same time, he still gets enough where it's like, okay, he's not underrated, because just enough people. It's just too many people acknowledging how dope he is for him to be underrated. But yeah, man, and Gibbs, what did he say on his verse? He said, "It's quite ironic how all this ice keep the heat on a nigga." Yeah, it is ironic, ain't it? Man, this track was just great. Another one of my favorite tracks on here, like Cataracts and freestyle shit. And the last track, So Right. And all I really have to say about this track is that it was a nice intro. But yeah, man, this track was just fantastic. It started off very hot. It barely cooled down in the middle, but it ended on an even hotter note for me. Perfect features for the most part. Like coming in, being like compliments to the project, being nice cosigns for Freddie, and the album. Minus Anderson .Paak. I hate to say it because I like Anderson .Paak. I really want to love Anderson .Paak, and I was loving him after Malibu dropped, but what did he drop? Oxnard, and that was this year. And I think, did he have another one early in the year or 2017? I've just been wanting these last two projects from him, but it's just been But yeah, minus Anderson .Paak, these are just the perfect features, perfect compliments to co-sign this album, and Freddie Gibbs and how dope he is and how he's at the top of his fucking game right now. Semi-flanger used throughout the album, which is cool to hear because I use that when I'm doing my slugged and jab mixes. Chopped and Screw, but I don't call my music Screw out of respect for DJ Screw. And each third of this album, breaking up into thirds, each half provided some of my favorite tracks, but each third did. And the third, the last third of the project provided my favorite tracks. But yeah, man, it was almost the perfect mix of Madlib and Gibbs here. I gotta give a little more props to Gibbs because his flows and his delivery, the lyrics and what he was talking about. Like, it was just so damn good. And not to take it away from Madlib, because he came and did his thing, of course, because he's Madlib. But I got a little more of Gibbs than I got from Madlib. So it was almost a perfect mix, but in no means by no means am I saying Gibbs did this and Madlib did this. It was like this. This is Gibbs. This is right here. This is Madlib. But MadGibbs themselves, fucking fantastic job. Just fantastic. Of course, it was your Coke Boy shit, cause you know, and of course, it was jazzy, R&B-ish, funkish, soul beats because Madlib's on there. Like I said, can't give enough praise to the features. Pac just felt like he was there to make it even more feel good, which is fine. But he didn't really compliment the album like Push did, like Killer did, like Black Thought and Mos Def did. But all in all, man, fantastic album. I'd give it a 7.5 to a 7.75 out of 10. If you've heard this project, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. If you haven't heard this project, I definitely recommend that you check it out. And once you've checked it out, come back, let me know what you think about it and what you think about my review. And yeah, be sure to hit the like button if you like this review, share the review, subscribe to the channel if you're new and like the content that you see. Check the description, because there are some links down there that you might want to click on to my social medias and things like that. And yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time.